Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear respected brothers and sisters and dear viewers of Imam Hussein TV, and welcome back to this exciting new series on the life of Amir al Mumineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, where we will be looking in depth and taking you on a journey to examine his life and the circumstances surrounding his life which shaped him into who he was and who we know him to be. A man who's loved by millions and billions across the globe and who's captured the hearts of many. Now in today's episode, we will be discussing the marriage of Imam Amir al Mumineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam to Sayyidat Nisa al Alameen Fatimah al Zahra alayhi salam, after previously discussing his early life and his birth, as well as the battle of Badr. With me as ever before, none other than Sayyid Ali and Nawab. Salamu alaikum Sayyidina.
Salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you doing today?
Alhamdulillah, shukran lillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, good.
Now, Sayyid, Fatimah al-Zahra alayhi salam is very special, as we know. Daughter of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi, one of the Ahl al-Kisa, one of the five in the Kisa. And when it comes to marriage, I think Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi has a tough choice to make, in the sense that many will have come and proposed for her. Many would have wanted to marry her, to be in close proximity to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. Would you be able to highlight, if any, if there was people that came and proposed to Fatimah al-Zahra alayhi salam before Amir al-Mu'mineen salawatullah wa salamuhu alayhi?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa alihi al-tayyibin al-tahirin, siyama Ali ibn Abi Talib, Amir al-Mu'mineen, wa la'natullahi ala a'da'ihim ila abad al-abidin. It's a very important question, is that were there any individuals who asked the hand of Lady Fatima in marriage before Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib? Of course, as you mentioned in your introduction, Fatima al-Zahra, the daughter of the Holy Prophet, the final seal and messenger of Islam, she holds, or she held, a very important position amongst the religion of Islam and amongst Muslims, because from an early age, from early stage in her life, she played a very important role in that she protected her father, the Holy Messenger of Islam, when he was being continuously targeted and attacked by the mushrikeen and the children of Quraysh in Mecca. We have all listened to or read the narrations where it states that when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in the vicinity of the Holy Kaaba, at times he would be busy, occupied with worshipping and praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there would be certain individuals that would take that opportunity when Rasulullah is busy worshipping and concentrating in his ibadah. They would bring their intestines or the feces. Rubbish or feces or garbage and throw it on the head and the body of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Fatimah al-Zahra alayhi salam would quickly come, attend to her father, and commit to removing those items from the head and the body of Rasulullah. Or in some of the after some of the battles, Fatimah al-Zahra alayhi salam would come and remedy some of the wounds of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. She played a very important role in being a comfort zone for Rasulullah every time he came back home, being taking and carrying the burden of Risala and Tabligh of the Risala and the message, and how the mushrikeen, the idol worshippers, the non-believers would attack him, be abusive towards him, speak against him. So all of those would leave an effect on Rasulullah. Rasulullah would come back home. As soon as he would see the face of Fatima salamullahi alayha, it would bring back the smile on the face of Rasulullah. So she played a very, very important and vital role in the life of Rasulullah. So being one being the daughter of Rasulullah, second of all being an individual who played an important role in supporting the Holy Prophet in his message. So she would be targeted for certain heads of tribes, certain leaders of Medina, certain leaders of the Ashab, the heads of the Ashab would want to receive that blessing of being related to Rasulullah through his daughter Fatima.
To become the son.
So there were
to
become, as you said, his son-in-law.
Do you know how many?
يعني the important individuals that I was able to get through the references were three.
Okay.
Other than Imam Ali alayhi salam, but there must have been more. There were, for example, Abu Bakr ibn Abi Quhafa, as narrators narrate in the book Kanz al-Ummal, Muttaqi al-Hindi. He narrates where one day Abu Bakr enters upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam and says, Ya Rasulullah, you know my position in Islam, and you know the services and the support that I have provided, if any. Rasulullah quickly knew what he wanted to say. Rasulullah told him, tell me, what do you want to say? What do you want? In that manner, ماذا تريد? Abu Bakr would go out without hesitating, without feeling slightest of discomfort. He would say, I want you to marry me, your daughter Fatima. In that way, in that language. Rasulullah, out of his akhlaq, out of his morals and ethics, he wouldn't be disrespectful to anyone, even though they were disrespectful to him. He would either stay quiet, or he would say, I am waiting for Allah's command in the marriage of Fatima. So he wouldn't turn them away, just say, no, Fatima says no, or I don't want you to get married to my daughter. You don't have the qualifications, you don't have this.
So they would be rejected based on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's command.
So this is one of the cases. For example, one day after this incident, Abu Bakr walks out the house of Rasulullah, and Umar ibn al-Khattab sees Abu Bakr very agitated, or this is not comfortable. He says, tell me what happened. So Abu Bakr explains to Umar that I asked the hand of Lady Fatima from the Holy Prophet of Islam, and he
rejected me.
He
denied
just
me.
Stayed quiet. He didn't reply back. So Umar wanted to show that maybe he is going to be accepted. He said, okay, wait here, let me go. Let me try my luck. So Umar enters the house of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Again, he says, Ya Rasulullah, I being Umar ibn al-Khattab, and the services that I have provided, now I don't know how many services he has provided Islam and Muslims. So he says, tell me what you want. Rasulullah says, what do you want, Umar? Umar says, I want to ask your daughter's hand in marriage. So here, again, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam replies back in saying, I await Allah's command in the marriage of Fatima. Until as I said, other heads of Sahaba, other important individuals would come and ask the hand of Fatima to Zahra salamullahi alayha.
But it was always no response or quiet.
No response or quiet.
Or I'm waiting for the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Rasulullah used to always go and ask Fatima's opinion about, every time someone would come and ask her hand in marriage, Rasulullah would see that Fatima's face is not happy, is not comfortable. So he would quickly find out.
So talk to me now about Imam Amir al Mumineen alayhi salam's proposal. What was that like?
Imam Ali salamullahi alayhi, to what history books mention is that he had not spoken or shown his desire to getting married to Fatima to Zahra salamullahi alayha to anyone. Like the companions, people around him. Although there were some of the ashab, some of the companions approaching Amir al Mumineen, saying to him, why don't you've reached the age of getting married, you're a young man, you're handsome, you're very powerful, you're courageous and brave. Why don't you propose to get married to Fatima. Overall, she is the daughter of your cousin Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, and she is your relatives, and you are from Bani Hashim. Amir al Mumineen salawatullah alayhi would respond in two ways. He would say, first of all, it's my shyness. I am shy. Humility. I can't see myself going to Rasulullah and asking his daughter's hand in marriage, which shows the aspect of akhlaq and the aspect of morals in this. Is that even in these situations, Amir al Mumineen salawatullahi alayhi sees that Fatima has got rights. Fatima has certain rights to be acknowledged. And the second point that Amir al Mumineen used to mention is that economically I have still to establish myself. Because overall, Fatima is not someone to be neglected.
Can you repeat that again? He's not what?
Amir al Mumineen salawatullah alayhi used to express his concern that economically,
inshallah, the brothers and the sisters out there understand that. Carry on, Sayyidina.
Yeah, I mean, these are all messages to our brothers and sisters, but what is to come would show how Rasulullah reacted towards such a young man in his situation. And inshallah, these are lessons that we can take from the life of the father-in-law, the groom, the husband, and the bride. How this all became the wedding that we celebrate until today. So inshallah, we take those individuals as role models, so our lives and the lives of our children would be the lives leading to the life of Ali ibn Abi Talib and Fatimah al Zahra salamullahi alayha. So here he would express his feelings that economically, I mean, Fatimah al Zahra, I need to establish a home. I need, financially, I need to support.
I need to provide for her.
It doesn't mean that Ali ibn Abi Talib doesn't believe in the support and the sustenance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Of course.
But at the same time, he's giving you a lesson, is that for a family to be starting up, there must be
difficulties.
There must be difficulties, and there must be certain things, criteria met. Then it was then that Amir al Mumineen salawatullahi alayhi decided that he would go and approach. Books of history and inform us that the first time he went and wanted and intended to speak to Rasulullah, he didn't.
He got shy.
He left. But the second time he went to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, as a result of the way Amir al Mumineen was speaking, he noticed. Amir al Mumineen started speaking to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam.
Shy.
That Ya Rasulullah, you know me better than me. I was the one that grew up under your hands. You educated me, you nurtured me. And you know me and my services, and you know that I've been alongside you. In some of the narrations, it was Rasulullah that said, or is it that Ali, you are asking the hand of Fatima? And then Amir al Mumineen bows down. He can't say yes, Ya Rasul.
Humility.
So Rasulullah says to Ali, Ya Ali, just remain seated. I want to go inside. Rasulullah stands. He goes, speaks to Fatima, salamullahi alayha. He says, Ya Fatima, hada ibn ammiki. This is Ali asking your hand in marriage. Upon hearing the name of Ali, Fatima al Zahra, salamullahi alayha, she also bows her head down. And then Rasulullah says, Fidaha abuha, sukutuha alamatu ar-ridaha. For here, Rasulullah finds out that Fatima, salamullahi alayha, does accept and is honored to get married to Ali ibn Abi Talib.
Now say,
but this is
okay, carry on.
This is what happened on earth.
Now,
what did happen before this event in the heavens?
Interesting.
About the marriage of Ali ibn Abi Talib.
Interesting. Let's hear it. What
The
happened?
Archangel Jibreel comes down upon the Holy Prophet of Islam, and on numerous occasions explains to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that, O Prophet of Allah, there is no equal to Fatima but Ali. And on that occasion, on the first of the Hijjah, Jibreel alayhi salam comes down and says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders you to marry Ali to Fatima, because he in the heavens has married, he has done the nikah for Ali and Fatima in the heavens. And he has organized a wedding for Ali and Fatima in the heavens. All the malaika, the Hur al-Ain and the angels are celebrating the wedding of Ali and Fatima. Hence, Allah orders you to get married. And lawla Ali, there wouldn't have been an equal to Fatima, and lawla Fatima, there wouldn't have been an equal to Ali ibn Abi Talib. So this is what Rasulullah meant when he used to say to people, I am waiting the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the order of Allah in the marriage of Fatima salamullahi alayha. So it was then that they started in the preparation and the process of the aqd and nikah, and then the wedding soon after.
Now, Sayyidina, in a time where, right now we're in a time where the mahar being asked for is 15,000, 20,000.
That's the least we can.
25,000 pounds. What was the mahar of Fatima al-Zahra? What did Imam Amir al-Mumineen alayhi salam give her?
The Prophet salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi asked Amir al-Mumineen. Now let all the father-in-laws listen. And inshallah they actually practice what we sometimes preach on the minbar.
Yeah, because some people will just say, nah, that's Ali and Fatima. You're talking you and my daughter.
Yeah, when we say Ali and Fatima, when we bring the Holy Prophet into this, this is Islam.
Yeah.
This is the message of Islam. This is what we are requested and ordered to adhere to. Sunnah to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. So Rasulullah asks Ali alayhi salam, do you possess anything between brackets which you can pay for the dowry as a mahar to marry Fatima? Amir al-Mumineen alayhi salam says in response, may my parents be your sacrifice, which means fidaka abi wa ummi. By Allah, there is not a thing of my affairs hidden from you. You know everything. You know the ins and outs of my life, Ya Rasulullah. I own my sword. I have a sword
to defend,
and I have a shield and a camel which I use for the purpose of irrigation and watering the palm trees. And this was everything that Amir al-Mumineen is to.
Wow.
After being the son of Abu Talib, the grandson of Abd al-Muttalib, the head of Bani Hashim, the head of Sayyidul Batha,
one of the custodians of the Kaaba.
The custodians of the Kaaba used to feed, used to provide water and shelter for the visitors of the Holy Kaaba. And the Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam replies to Amir al-Mu'minin after saying, I have a sword and a shield and a camel. Rasulullah says, Ya Ali, you cannot do without your sword. So keep your sword.
Yeah.
For you have to struggle with it and to defend yourself against the enemies of Allah. As for your camel, you need it to irrigate palm trees and support your family. And you need it as a means of travel. But I accept the shield as a dowry from you.
Okay, fair enough.
So sell it and bring me the money.
Hello. Very nice.
Amir al-Mumineen, being the brave and the courageous, he doesn't need a shield.
Of course not.
Because in all his battles, he never once did he run away from the battlefield.
Of course.
Or use a shield. He was just running towards the enemy. Karrar غير فرار. So where did Ali ibn Abi Talib get his shield from? The narrations narrate that he had won his shield as a booty in the battle of Badr. It was given to him by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, who gave a specific name to that shield and named it Al-Hadimah.
Al-Hadimah?
Al-Hadimah or Al-Hadimah. One of Al-Hadimah.
Okay.
Because it, or Al-Haddama, because it destroyed every time the enemies came and struck the shield of Amir al Mumineen. It would have destroyed their souls. The shield wouldn't have been destroyed. So Amir al Mumineen salamullahi alayhi sold the shield, which was accepted by Rasulullah as a means of dowry. Narrators narrate between 480 to 500 dirhams. Not dinars.
Gold?
Not dinar. Dinars is the gold.
Dinar is the gold.
Yes.
Dirham is the silver.
Dirham is the silver.
Okay.
So Amir al Mumineen received something between 480 and 500 dirhams, silver dirhams.
Which equals to
And the silver dirhams is equal to 1,250 and 1,500 grams of silver.
Of silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because every 10 silver dirhams equals to 1 golden dinar.
Say it, we're working in a gold shop.
These are important for people to know, because when someone goes and asks someone's daughter in marriage, they start, daydreaming. They start thinking, 6 figures and 7 figures.
Ay wallah. Carry on, Sayyid, carry on.
When we say Mahr al-Sunnah, this is Mahr al-Sunnah.
Aye.
Mahr al-Sunnah is 480 silver dirhams.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Amir al-Mu'mineen sells the shield, takes the amount he receives for the shield, and then he comes to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. In the other narrations, it is mentioned that they bring the shield back to Rasulullah. Whoever buys the shield, he comes to Rasulullah. He says, Ya Rasulullah, I bought the shield and I want to gift it to you. Rasulullah, what does he do with the shield?
Gives it to Amir.
He gives it back to Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi.
Nice.
So here they receive the amount of dowry. What does Rasulullah, being the father-in-law, how does Rasulullah use the dowry?
Preparation?
In preparing for the marriage of Fatima.
Okay, so let's talk about this now.
Yeah.
Preparation of the marriage.
Yes.
480, I don't know what you can do with that, but I'm assuming it's not a lot of money.
It's not a lot of money.
It's not a lot. So what things did Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa buy for the wedding? What preparations did he do? Did Amir al Mumineen do any preparations with him?
I have a list of things and a number of individuals that helped Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam in the preparation of the wedding using the mahr money. It is narrated that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam took the money without counting the money.
Wow. His trust.
Another lesson.
His trust in Amir
for our father-in-laws or father-in-laws to be.
Inshallah.
That's, don't sit down and use pen and paper and start using calculator and calculating every penny or.
No, if he doesn't get the glasses out and start counting it like this.
At the end of the day, this whole marriage is not a financial contract.
Exactly.
It's not a business contract.
Yep.
It's not a business transaction. I know nowadays everything around us rotates around financial transactions.
Yeah.
But for a marriage to be blessed, for a marriage to continue providing its blessings upon the husband and the wife and the family and the friends around this family, there has to be this element of humbleness and humility and trust. That the husband will fulfill all of his duties towards the wife, and the wife in her role will fulfill and execute all of her obligations and duties towards the husband.
صحيح.
Yani it's not that if you don't pay me this amount of money, I'm not going to be a good husband or I'm not going to be a good wife to you. So the narrations narrate that he gave some of the money to Bilal.
Okay.
Bilal, the mu'adhin.
Yes.
And he said, buy a nice perfume for my daughter with this money. And then he gave, to some narrations, Ayman, which is another prominent figure around the household of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. وأسماء بنت عميس, Ayman and Asma bint Umais, they were given money to buy some furniture for the house of Ali and Fatima. Salama was asked to prepare some food.
Okay.
And again, in this narration, it says he sent Ammar and Abu Bakr and Bilal to buy some things that were being able to used in the house. And I will mention some of the things that they bought. The narration narrates that Rasulullah gave Abu Bakr 63 dirhams. And with these 63 dirhams, they bought 2 mattresses made of Egyptian canvas, of stuffed with fiber and other with sheep wool. By mattress, we don't mean like 1,000, 2,000 pounds mattress, which is sold in luxurious shops.
Yeah.
By mattress, we mean this
simple.
Yeah, it's like a sleeping mat or something that they used to sleep on. So 2 of them, one for Ali, one for Fatima. A leather mat.
Okay.
Or a sheep's wool or sheepskin to be used as a place to sit on or to pray on.
Okay.
A pillow made of skin filled with palm tree fiber.
Okay.
Nowadays, the wife or the bride or the bride's family, they order, we have to have this mattress, we have to have this pillow stuffed with this kind of feathers, brought from this part of the world. You have to have the same shape, the same color,
the same design.
على كل.
على كل, say it.
A cloak, which was from Khaybar, called a Khaybariyun cloak, which is a abaya. An animal skin for water.
Okay.
For water, to preserve water in. Some jugs and jars for water. A thin curtain made of wool, thin curtain to be placed on the door or the wall by the window. A shirt costing 7 dirhams. A shirt for Fatima al-Zahra costing 7 dirhams. The shirt here, I would presume it means a wedding dress.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you didn't mention the wedding dress of Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam.
In some narrations that the wedding dress was gifted to Fatima by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. And maybe in this narration here, this shirt might have been just an extra piece of clothing for Fatima to be used after the wedding. A veil costing 4 dirhams.
We didn't even calculate all of this.
No, Abu Bakr said he gave me 63 dirhams.
And he bought all of these things?
He bought all of these.
Okay.
A black plush cloak, which I think is a abaya.
Okay.
A black cloak. 4 cushions, a mat from Hajar, a hand mill, a raha that Fatima al-Zahra used to use to grind.
So basically preparing the whole house for them.
Yeah, a special copper container used for their daily chores. A pestle for grinding coffee, a water skin, the containers, the plates, the cups, everything was made of mud, made of clay.
Okay, so it's cheap.
Yeah, and the base of the house was covered with ramel, with sand.
Okay, not like
so
today.
It was like bringing Persian rugs or bringing
today
Italian.
Has to be kashi or wood or marmar or all
mosaic or marble.
Said we're opening a lot of doors that we don't want to open. Carry on.
Yeah, so here these are the simple things that they were able to prepare for the house. Now, where was Amir al Mumineen going to live?
Good point. He barely had enough money for the mahar.
Yeah. So one of the companions had a house very close to the masjid, to the mosque of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Nice.
So he came and offered this house to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then here Amir al Mumineen said, Ya Ali, you and Fatima, you are able to reside in the house that was gifted and given to us by this very wonderful companion. So
now, I'm gonna mention this because this is, by the way, this is we're comparing the marriage, or let's say the wedding day of Amir al Mumineen salawatullah wa salamuhu alayhi, Fatimah al Zahra alayha salam, to weddings these days. Because one of the biggest things I think every single guest of a wedding looks forward to is not seeing the groom, it's not seeing the bride, it's not seeing them go and live a happy marriage, it's the food. Yeah? People will come, and that's one thing that people will complain about after a wedding. You can spend as much money as you want on the food in a wedding, but someone will still complain.
Yeah.
What was the food banquet like for the wedding of Amir al Mumineen and Fatimah al Zahra salamullah alayhim?
In narrations that Rasulullah himself prepared the food,
Nice.
and in other narrations it was other companions helped Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was Rasulullah himself. There are narrations narrate that he himself slaughtered the sheep or the lamb.
Okay.
And he paid money to Ammar or Salama to buy roughly around 3.5 kilos of barley.
Okay.
So they cooked barley and meat, which is mustahab for a wedding.
I'm telling you, serve barley and meat in a wedding today, and see the complaints that come.
Yeah, if the weddings today they don't have three main courses or meal courses.
3-course meals.
3-course meals, starters, the meal and the
Dessert.
They would see that this wedding is
a bad wedding.
Say
the carry on. Yeah.
So Rasulullah prepares food,
Mm-hmm.
and being prepared by Rasulullah, as we mentioned in previous episodes, how Amir al Mumineen cooked for the event of وَأَنذِرْ عَشِيرَتَكَ الْأَقْرَبِينَ. He cooked a good sized portion, but it was enough for the 40 who attended that event.
Mm-hmm.
The same case for the wedding of Fatima al-Zahra. Rasulullah cooked food, but there was groups and groups of Muslims entering.
Yeah, I didn't ask you how many people attended.
Basically the whole inhabitants of Medina.
Wow.
All the Sahaba, their children, their wives, the important figures. And even Rasulullah sent some of the companions to go outside Medina
to bring people,
to invite people from in the outskirts of Medina, the tribes, the Asha'ir, the clans, to come. This is an important day.
Wow.
This is the marriage of the Prophet's daughter. It's not someone normal.
Exactly.
And then when they came, they all came. They participated in the wedding. They ate. Everything was good. Everyone was full. There was still food remaining.
Wow.
Rasulullah told the companions, now go and invite everyone that you see remaining, the fuqara, the ones in need, everyone, tell them to come and eat. He sent food to his wives. He said, feed your friends and your family members.
Wow.
And he asked some of the women around to keep some food aside for Ali and Fatima, salamullahi alayhim. So the barakah of that day and the barakah of Rasulullah cooking that food, it was enough to feed the Muslims and the inhabitants in the close proximity of the city, Medina.
Now, Zayd, I wanted to ask you, right? Us 1400 years on, we can sit here and say this was the ideal marriage because it's a ma'soom with a ma'sooma. Infallible with another infallible, correct? We can say that. Comfortably, we can sit and we can boast about, it's a no-brainer that Ali married Fatima with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa permission because they're infallible. Back then, why was that the idea? Like, if someone was to look, as let's say a companion was to look from an outsider's perspective, he sees Ali marrying Fatima after Fatima having so many marriage proposals. Why would this person think that that's an ideal marriage?
Because both individuals, Amir al Mumineen and Fatima al-Zahra, they equaled each other in everything. The nasab,
Yeah.
The lineage was very important. The code of conduct was very important. The practice, the akhlaq.
Yeah, the upbringing.
The upbringing.
Yeah.
It's not that, for example, someone from the Badiya, from someone from the outskirts of Medina or Mecca came to propose for Fatima alayhi salam. So the nasab, the upbringing, and the knowledge, they both were knowledgeable individuals, being educated by the same teacher.
Yeah.
They both were related to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, where Rasulullah on many occasions says, Al-aqrabuna awla bil ma'roof. Now you should always, this is the message of Islam, this is the advice of Islam, is that if you have family members from amongst your relations that are ready for marriage, why don't they get married to each other? Cousins,
Yeah.
the son of this brother to the daughter of this brother, for example. Al-aqrabuna awla. And their service to the Muslims.
Yeah.
Because Amir al Mumineen, other than engaging in battles and other than his responsibilities that he was being sent by Rasulullah to execute, he was an individual who his presence was a positive presence amongst the Muslims. He used to help the Muslims, he used to educate the Muslims, he used to be there as a good positive figure who contributed towards the community and the society. Same way with Fatima Zahra alayhi salam. Her presence was well known because she was educating people through her akhlaq, through her morals, through her ilm and knowledge. She was playing her role, although she was a very young age at that time, but then they suited each other. They were equal to each other. As Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam was told by Jibreel that Ali is the equal of Fatima. And if Ali wasn't around, there wouldn't have been an equal for Fatima until the day of Qiyamah.
Wow.
Yeah. So there are certain attributes that falls within the categories of Ali and Fatima in terms of their morals, their intellects, and their physical presence amongst the Muslims in that period of time. So it was an ideal marriage. Now, what is an ideal marriage in our daily common sense wise? An ideal marriage is the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. Man ja'akum ترضون دينه وخلقه أو خلقه ودينه فزوجوه. Now Rasulullah concentrates on akhlaq and deen and practice.
Yeah.
But nowadays there are people that say Rasulullah said and I say. This is the opinion of Rasulullah. And nowadays we're living in a time where Rasulullah...
Is your pocket full? That's the first, not akhlaq, no, full. Pocket full, yes, marriage. Sayyid, I wanted to ask you, with every marriage, it can be emotional for the father of the daughter, especially the father of the daughter, because he's giving his daughter away and that kind of stuff. And there's always that dua that comes with it, that a father will pray for his daughter, for her prosperity, so that she's happy in her marriage, so that she's comfortable in her marriage. Did Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi have a special dua for Ali and Fatima alayhi?
When you go back to the books of the Sunnah, Nabawiyya, and Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, there are always rituals that it is recommended that the husband and the wife, or the families of the husband and the wife, they practice. And amongst this, there is this special dua for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, and a special process that Rasulullah involved Ali and Fatima in. So I would read the riwayah which explains to us what happened after the marriage on the wedding day. So it says, after the banquet, the Prophet went into the house along with Ali and called Fatima salamullahi alayha. Fatima saw her husband with the Prophet. So Fatima maybe was in another room. She enters the same room as the Prophet and Amir al Mumineen. Rasulullah says to Fatima, Ya Fatima, come closer. So she came. The Prophet took Fatima's hand and took Ali's hand, took the hands of Ali and Fatima. And just as he was about to put the hand of Fatima and the hand of Ali, he said, I swear by God that I have not neglected you. He's saying to Fatima, salamullahi alayha, I have cherished you and married you the best person in my progeny, meaning Ali ibn Abi Talib. By God, I have married you to the master and the leader of the world and the hereafter, and he is one of the righteous. Accompany him and go to your home. May God bless you in this marriage. This is the dua of Rasulullah.
Yes.
And arrange your issues for you. Then he, salamullahi alayhi, salawatullahi alayhi, went to their house. They entered the inner house, the house of Ali and Fatima.
Sure.
And they prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is the ruk'atayn mustahab. There's a prayer, mustahab. Rasulullah, after that, he prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he bonds in their hearts and blesses their progeny, which is very important, and which is what happened. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bonded the hearts of Ali and Fatima together, that they were able to establish this wonderful, pleasant home, and how this home gave its fruits, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed their progeny.
Inshallah, yeah.
And inshallah we will come inshallah in the latter episode to speak about the blessing of the progeny of Fatima salamullahi alayha. The Prophet salawatullahi alayhi said to Asma bint Umays, Asma, from the very early stages of the life of Amir al Mumineen Fatima, she was with them. Bring me a bowl of water. She filled the bowl with water and took it to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. The Prophet salawatullahi alayhi took a handful of water and sprinkled it on the face of Fatima.
Okay.
These are rituals which is mustahab to be practiced on the wedding day or wedding night by the husband or the father-in-law.
Yeah. Okay.
So Rasulullah sprinkles it on the head of Fatima salamullahi alayha, and another handful on her hands. He takes some water, he washes the hand of Fatima and a bit on her neck and others on the body, and said, Oh Lord, Fatima is of me. Now look at this dua. This dua and this practice has been narrated in the books of the Muslims. How Rasulullah prays for Fatima salamullahi alayha. Oh Lord, Fatima is of me and I am of Fatima. So cleanse her in the same way you have cleansed me from impurity. And then Rasulullah says to Fatima, Oh Fatima, drink some water, and then washed her face with it and rinsed the mouth and inhaled some water. And then he asked for another bowl of water and did the same with Ali, Amir al Mumineen.
Okay.
Salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. And then he recited another dua. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala approximate your heart and make it kind and bless your descendants and arrange for you for your issues. This is the dua of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam when he prayed for the marriage to be a blessed marriage, and for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring down his blessings upon them and their progenies after them.
Indeed, blessings upon them and their progeny, which we will come to in the next episode when we talk about Banu Qaynuqa' and the birth of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, the light and the fruit of the eye of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. My dear brothers and sisters, I've been your host, Minhal al-Khafaji, with Sayyid Ali and Nawab. Thank you very much, Sayyidna.
Thank you.
And inshallah, we will see you in the next episode when we talk about Bani Qaynuqa' and the birth of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.